In the Parsha of Nitzavim, in Perek Lamed Pasuk Aleph, the Torah makes the following statement. After the imprecations, all the klalos have been hurled at us, Rachmana litzlan, so then obviously Klal Yisrael is going to be impacted. They're going to be jarred by all these klalos. Because of being subjected to the punishment of Golos, of being dispersed, we're going to wake up and smell the coffee. Hopefully we'll do tshuva, come back to Hashem with all our hearts and souls. And then Hashem, if we respond affirmatively, He will respond accordingly. And as a result, there will be kibbutz galuyos. And the Torah says, even if we are scattered to the far ends of the earth, and then the next step, will Baruch Hashem be zochet to come back to Eretz Yisrael. And then a step after that, our hearts will be circumcised. The Ramban on the spot comments that this Milas Halev, of course, is the ideal, the acme, the pinnacle. What does one see from all of these psukim? That the process of tshuva is a step-by-step process. It is not something that one could accomplish overnight. It is not something that one could simply, in a short period of time, do. It is a wrenching process. It is a slow, step-by-step building process, rebuilding process, reorientation process. And what I find fascinating is that when one examines the Shemona Esrei, the intermediate brachas, the 13 intermediate brachas, one sees this kimat in all the brachas of the Shemona Esrei. Let's just take one or two brachas as an example. The Shemona Esrei tells us, the first is going to be a great shofar that will be blown. The shofar Shel Mashiach that we see in the shofar's tefillah of Rosh Hashanah. And then, the banner will be raised for the purpose of gathering our exiles. And finally, the kibbutz galuyos will actually take place. The kaptenu yachad, mi'arba kanfos haaretz, step by step. Hashiva shovtein k'va rishona. First, Hashem should restore our judges. V'yoatzenu. Step 2, v'hasem imenu yogad ma'anocha. Step 3, umloch aleinu ato Hashem levadcha. And Timat, all the intermediate brachos have clearly delineated kind of steps. V'Yerushalayim ircha b'rachamim toshuv. You should return to Yerushalayim. Step 1. V'sishkam b'socha kasher dibarta hashras hashchina. Step 2. Step 3. Uvnei osa b'karav yameinu b'yan olam. So why do I notice this and why do I comment on it? Because of the bracha of Harotze B'Shuva. The other Shemona Esrei says, Hashiveinu avinu l'sarasecha. Step 1. If a person is once again recommitting himself to studying Torah and learning Torah and becoming excited by the beauty of Torah, step 1. Step 2, that'll bring a person closer to Hashem Yisbarach. And finally, step 3, v'hachzireinu b'shuva shleima lefanecha. Now, step 1 was hashivenu, through the Torah, but that doesn't necessarily complete the job. Step 2, one becomes more connected to Hashem Yisbarach, the avoda, but step 3, tshuva shleima lefanecha. So we see that tshuva is a step-by-step process. Shuva Yisrael ad Hashem Elokecha ki chashalta b'avonecha kichui machem dvarachim v'shuvu al Hashem. Ibn Ezra says, Kima, Kima. Many Rishonim say, Kima, Kima. Little by little, step by step. Person has to be willing to take small steps, and with small little steps, the person will be able to ultimately achieve the ultimate end that one is looking for. Mashal Ma'adava Dome. This is the mashal that I'm very fond of. I don't know much about sports. I am really an Amoritz, a total ignoramus. However, I do know that in football, there are 2 ways to get to the goalpost. One is by throwing these long touchdown passes, 80 yards, 90 yards, And I imagine most of the time, unless you are a very skilled quarterback and a skilled tight end, and you have the proper interplay and synchronization between the two, and you practice, shall we say, many, many times, umpteen times, in most cases, the football will either be overthrown, underthrown, intercepted. I hope I have all the correct terminology. Baruch Hashem. Once in a while, you'll succeed. I don't know what the percentages are. 20% of the time, 25% of the time. And of course, the oohs and ahs will be wondrous from the crowd. On the other hand, there's a second way to get to the goalpost. Namely, you grind out the yardage. And that, of course, is a much more difficult approach. 3 yards here, 2 yards over there. A little, shall we say, the fullback comes through because blockers helped him get through. And finally a first down. And then another first down, and then you lose yardage, and you gain yardage. Wow, you have to grind out that yardage at the end of the day. Which of the two, shall we say, sticks to your ribs? Which is really the more effective way of getting down there? Grinding out the yardage. One could argue, but the hashkaf of the Torah is that tshuva is not an overnight, it's not a bin laila hoya, because if it's been laila hoya, it's been laila avad. It'll also be lost in one night. Halabai, we should be zocher to step by step. Let's take small steps. Hashiveinu avinu l'sarasecha, v'karveinu malkeinu l'avarasecha, and then ultimately we'll be zocher to v'achziveinu b'tshuva shleima l'fanecha. Halabai, Hashem should help us all do tshuva. We should have siyata d'shmaya, l'shana tova, tikasevu v'seichaseimu, la'alta l'chaim tovim, b'sifram shel tzadikim gemurim.